So, greetings, Tim, Alice, fellow LMA and SMA Heartfluencers. This is Christina Krechik Starnes, and I am coming to you from Nashville, Tennessee. I am giving my testimonial here about why I chose to do SMA and all of the wonderful things that I got from it. So, one big thing for me is that I was involved in LMA. And one of the reasons why I got involved with season 10 of LMA is just being at that place in my life where I felt like I needed help in movement in my life and not being sure where to go to get the kind of help that I needed. And there were questions that I wasn't even sure I knew how to ask in terms of getting advice for how to move or what else I needed to do in my life. So, with all of the wonderful things that I learned in LMA, I had a lot of confidence about doing SMA. And it was a fantastic package deal and offering that I was able to take advantage of at the end of LMA that allowed me to do SMA. Now, one of the really, really interesting things is the whole thing about when we start trying to do some of that movement forward in our life, about feeling like we do get a little bit of pushback. And I don't want to spend too much time on the details, but basically, within that first week of trying to do SMA, there were a couple of things that became challenges for me, particularly in trying to get through the Heartfluencer challenges. And those kind of took a back seat basically after that first week of SMA for me. However, even within that very short time, and I know that the point in doing a lot of the SMA, the Heartfluencer challenges, is that we get a steady practice with kind of going beyond what we are comfortable with. And it was a really, really beautiful thing for me with the SMA to do the challenges outdoors. Because one of the biggest things that I think really did start to sink in with me is that notion that nobody cares. That there are some people that are going to be into what you're doing at some point, and that some people won't be. But ultimately, one of the challenges that I was going to do, I was going to stand near a wall at one of the strip malls nearby. And because my connection was so bad, I ended up having to go into the middle of the parking lot. So instead of having this kind of safe space up against the wall, I had to be out into the middle of the parking lot. The UPS guy was coming by me, people were going in and out of their cars, and I was just standing by my car talking. And that was a really, really wonderful experience of all of these people going around you, and nobody's watching what you're doing. They don't care what you're doing. And there is a freedom in that. And being in the park, there is one that I did in the playground about if I knew that nobody was judging me about what else I might be doing in my life. And this really comes back to why I joined SMA and LMA, is this notion that I do have a message to share with the world, that I do want to be able to do more public speaking. And even though I have spoken in public before about other topics, I've only had a couple of experiences of really sharing the kind of message that I want to share about something that is really, really personal to me. And it's something that I want to write more about, that I want to get out there, that other people to I want other people to really feel like that they can connect with, and that I might be able to be somebody that they would call upon, that I would be one of those people that they would call upon um, for those topics, and to be able to come out and discuss those things in open and safe spaces with other people and kind of share in our vulnerability, um, some personal experiences, some traumatic experiences, find healing in that together. And again, I feel like I found that on a small scale. But one of the things about LMA and SMA and the Heartfluencer challenges is that I have been so afraid of putting things online. And so being able to do a lot of this stuff online has really stretched me anyway. But then getting to that point where I was doing it not just in the apartment here from my bedroom or my dining room, but being able to go beyond that was really something powerful and amazing for me. So the really wanting to step into this because I do have a message to get out there, wanting to step into this because I knew from doing LMA that this would be a continued growth opportunity and experience. And the focus, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it in the middle of LMA when I found out during LMA that they had something that was focused just on public speaking. And I was like, this is what I want to do more of. And so that kind of thing of, you take advantage of one opportunity, another opportunity opens up, and you step into that as well. And I feel like it's done a lot for my confidence. It has done a lot for me to want to do more of this sort of thing, kind of building a momentum. And in one of my posts, I talked about not just feeling like the little engine that could, but feeling like the little engine that will, because I keep having my chug chugs up the hill and then maybe having a little bit of a pullback or a drawback, and then knowing that I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going and continue to fight through the resistance, and that at some point I will get over that mountain and hit my stride. So with the SMA modules in particular, I feel like the focus on tonality, the focus on cadence, the focus on charisma, and that balance between what we call those dog people and those cat people, and that term that people talked about, the cogs, because there are a lot of people who seem to have that naturally. They seem to be able to have that kind of magnetism, and they seem to have that balance naturally. But just like with anything else, it's something to be developed. And so some people may have to work harder at it than others, but it is something to be developed. And being encouraged in that, the importance of listening to our audiences, the importance of recognizing what we're doing to serve them and keeping the focus on them, and storytelling, that we all connect best with one another when we are doing some really wonderful weaving in of stories. So I just wanted to share that. I would highly recommend SMA to anybody who is wanting to take a step beyond, to take a few steps beyond, to really want to grow and really want to um, experience something more in their own life, and they will see the way that that overflows into other things, whether it is something that they are working on interpersonal communication, whether or not it's thinking about boardroom settings, or whether or not it's other things that they want to do that go beyond that, that are bigger visions. And so I just want to thank again, Tim and Alice. Thank you so much for the work that you do. And I am going to continue with SMA, continue going back through some of those and continue reviewing. And I think that that's one of really the greatest gifts and one of the greatest deals in those packages, is the ability to go back and revisit information and material in them. So I will leave it there. And blessings always to everyone. And I'll be seeing you again soon on another live event. Take care, everybody.